Your network marketing company is creating and training your competition. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to set yourself apart in a sea of 500,000 distributors selling the exact same products in the exact same way with examples. On this channel, if you haven't been here before, I help women win with inbound network marketing. After a decade in digital marketing, several of those years working specifically with top earners in the network marketing industry, I only share what I've personally seen get results. If you're dedicated to embracing modern relevant strategies that work to get more leads, recruit more reps, build better teams, and become a top earner in your network marketing company, hit the subscribe button below and ding the bell to get notified of future videos. Did I mention none of it ever involves chasing down your friends and family? Now, if you're from anti-MLM YouTube and you came to post network marketing is a pyramid scheme, thank you for being here. This video, this channel is not for you. Go ahead and give me a big thumbs down below so I know you were here. Okay, let's get into it. As I said, you are selling the exact same products in the exact same way. So we want to ask ourselves two questions. The first, how can we sell something different? And how can we sell in a different way? So how can we sell something different? The answer is by adding to your MLM's products. You're not changing them in any way, but you're giving the potential customer more than what your competitor, as in every other distributor, is offering. You might be asking, well, what else would I add? To which I'm responding, well, what else do they need? My team is in a network marketing company that sells hair care, skin care, and wellness products. So let's take hair care for example. The potential customer is trading out their current shampoo and conditioner for our products. Why? There are several reasons that they might want to do this, but typically it's because their hair doesn't look the way they want it to, and the products that they're using haven't produced the results they had hoped for. So they're looking for a new solution to their problem. It's safe to assume that regardless of the specific hair concern, the bottom line is this person is looking to fix their hair. They're looking for better hair. So when we asked ourselves the question, how can we sell something different? What else should we add? What else do they need? It was crystal clear other stuff to fix their hair. So what I mean by this, and I'm just going to write this out on my little whiteboard here. Actually, let's do it with this. So you have your MLM product or products, right? And typically that's an auto ship, some sort of flex ship, where your customer is buying a bundle of products that you guys offer. So every other distributor is just selling this. You want to add something so that if a customer was ever debating between you and another distributor, I've heard this before where actually, you reach out to someone or someone reaches out to you and they're like, oh, well, so-and-so down the street sells the same thing, so I should probably support them, right? That's a conversation in their head that happens. So you want to think about it just as you would think about this in any other company. So let's just say I'm a business owner who sells running shoes, and I'm competing against every other company that sells the same running shoes that I sell. Well, how can I differentiate myself? Something that you could do is, I've seen this before at running shoe companies, some, not all, but they will have a treadmill that you run on, and they do a quiz basically, or some sort of report based on your run to determine what shoe would be best for you, what fit would be best for you. If you have any problems with your feet, that would diagnose that in a way as well. So that's a huge differentiator, because if I'm someone who needs to buy running shoes, I would definitely want to buy from the business that has a treadmill that I run on where they're giving me a customized recommendation. So that's just something to think about. So in terms of what we want to add to our product, it's really a brainstorm. So I would just say brainstorm, go nuts, think of anything that is relevant that you could add. I will say you can add physical products to the package that you're creating, but that might not make sense financially. We like to add digital information products. And you may be thinking, well, I'm not a hair care expert. I'm not a skincare expert. I'm not a wellness expert. You don't need to be. If you can put the time and energy into doing the research required, you can create a digital information product. So back to our example here, if a potential customer is looking for better hair, what can we provide them to support the MLM's products in providing a solution? What about let's just say again, this is hair care, some sort of hair care flagship. Okay, so let's say we provide them with a healthy hair checklist. And guys, that seems kind of basic, but again, it's added value, it's intrinsic value that wasn't there before that differentiates you from everyone else selling the same hair care flagship, right? So let's just say this is a list of things to start, stop, continue doing for your best hair ever, right? And we'll just say like this will include, I don't know, swapping your shower head for one with a water softener. Maybe swapping, let's just do this, your cotton pillowcase for silk, and swapping your brush for a wide-toothed comb. There's 3 things for the checklist already, right? So we got a checklist. What else? How about printable instructions or directions for how to use each product or the bundle of products and in what order, right? Something that they can print out and put in their bathroom, maybe on the mirror above their sink, right? And this information is already available to both them and you on the bottle, on the website, but you're putting the time and energy into gathering it and making it more functional for the potential customer. So it is definitely a value added. All right, so let's go with that for now. I think those are 2 good examples of what you could add. Again, if you wanted to add physical products to it, like an actual silk pillowcase, feel free to do so. It's not necessary, and the cost of adding a physical product is a lot more than the cost of adding a digital product. So I would just consider that as you come up with something. But I think that's a good start. So I would take a piece of paper and just start brainstorming all the different things. Maybe you want to think about all the objections that your potential customer might have and adding in these extra bonuses to address some of those objections. Maybe you want to think about, okay, well, once the products get them better hair, what are they going to think about next, right? So what's the next thing that they would want? Maybe we can provide some information on that. So just think about all the different things that might be relevant here and do a brainstorm. Are you currently just selling your MLM products alone? If so, give me a big yes, I am in the comments below. Let's all come clean. I want to see you come clean right here, right now, and commit to providing more value for your potential customers and hopefully your customers. Now, how can we sell in a different way? Let's talk about this. So distributors are typically taught to share links to specific resources that their MLM company provides them, right? And so based on whatever the potential customer is interested in, you send them to a specific link. Maybe it's a landing page, maybe it's a product detail page, maybe it's a series of landing pages controlled by the company itself. So we asked ourselves, how can we mirror that experience but make the journey for our potential customers completely unique to our team? This also sets you apart. Because if people are familiar with your company, they might already be familiar with the customer journey. And so you're basically presenting them with the same thing that they've seen before. You don't want to do that. You want it to be different. And also you want complete ownership over that asset. So if it is a series of landing pages, and I'm just going to refer to that as a funnel from now on. If it's a funnel, you want control over that because you want to be able to analyze the data coming through that funnel. For example, you want to know how many people actually visited the first page, how many people actually bought the product, opted in for the checklist, whatever call to action there is on that page, you want to be able to know the conversion rate there so that you can continuously optimize that, which basically I'm getting there, right? So we created our own series of landing pages controlled by us that leads to the same place as our company's pages would. The ultimate goal is still that our potential customer becomes an actual customer, but we are able to customize how that happens, and more importantly, as I said, continuously optimize how often that happens, how often our potential customer is becoming an actual customer. So my team researched other companies, both network marketing companies and non-network marketing companies that sold similar products, to just see what they were doing, what was working for them, and we modeled our own funnels, if you will, after the best of what we found. So I wasn't going to talk about that too much, but let's just dive into that a little bit. So the company that I work for, like I said, provides hair care, skincare, wellness products. Let's just focus on the hair care again for the purpose of this example. So we have a hair quiz, which is basically a series of questions that you go through asking you different questions about your hair, how you style your hair, the thickness of your hair, the length of your hair, etc. All of those different factors to customize a hair care routine for you. So all of these answers to these questions get sent to the distributor that sent you to this quiz, and that distributor puts together a package, if you will, of the products based on how you answered your questions. So we looked for companies that do something similar, that provide custom hair care routines. And a very popular one that I've been seeing pop up on my newsfeed lately is this one here, Pros. And wouldn't you know it, on their page, and by the way, the reason I have this like this is because I wanted to see what it looks like on mobile, so I shrunk it down and didn't make it full screen, because I know that the potential customer that I'm going after, that I'm targeting, or customers that have worked with me in the past are always accessing my resources from mobile. So I want to make sure I'm creating a mobily optimized resource for them. And so I always want to see what these different websites look like on mobile. So that's why I shrunk it down. But you can see here that their call to action right above the fold is get your formula. And when you click that button, it takes you to their hair care quiz. So I want to basically scour the internet and find all of the different companies that provide personalized hair care and find out how they're actually getting people into their universe. And so it's interesting that Pros has a quiz because obviously the company that I work for also has a quiz. So I wanted to compare and contrast and see what I liked about this quiz, what I didn't like about this quiz versus the quiz that I have available to me as a distributor. And my whole goal is my whole team's goal is, as a team, create a quiz of our own where we can control the questions, the steps, how many people actually end up taking it, any emails attached to it, right? If someone starts the quiz but doesn't finish the quiz, is there a way for us to reach out? If they finish the quiz but don't buy, is there a way for us to reach out? And again, continuously optimize that whole process. So here, as we're diving in deeper, you can see that this website, if we begin, it's a bunch of questions. This is interesting. This has like a progress bar here. It looks like there's going to be 4 different sections and a lot of different questions if this first question is only getting me that far in the progress bar. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. From my perspective, too many questions might lead to people just giving up. So you may want to remove some questions just to remove any barrier to entry and really get them to the end, which is where they give their contact information to get their results. But it might be a good thing because maybe they're finding that people, after answering all of these questions, are more likely to actually give up their information because they're very invested. They just invested a lot of time into going through these 4 different sections and filling out the crazy amount of questions in each one. So just something to think about there. The thing I don't like about this quiz, and again, thinking about it from the perspective of I'm going to create my own, and so what don't I like, what do I want to make sure I include? I don't like that you have to actually click the answer and then click next. And I'm assuming that would be, I'm on my desktop, but I'm assuming that that would get pretty cumbersome on mobile. So I would much prefer something like this, where as soon as I click, it takes me to the next question. So I definitely want to take note of that. as I move forward. And then I basically go through all of these as I'm studying this, because my job is now to research the competitors and study what they're doing and determine what's working, what's not working for me as a potential customer. Like, I'm putting myself in the shoes of a potential customer and going through this as if I am their target market and potentially going to buy. So I'm kind of questioning everything as I go and really observing and taking note of things. So just something to think about. I'm not going to go too deep into that now, but I will say that this part is crucial and nobody does this. And I will say nobody actually creates their own version of the resource that's provided by their company. They don't create their own journey for their customers that's unique to their team. So this is really an opportunity. And you want to make sure that you're doing the competitor research. After I do the competitor research, I wireframe everything out. So I go through and I determine, okay, which of the questions do I like? Which of the questions are maybe redundant? Which of the questions are super important and vital that I need to include? And I'll do that with my own company's quiz as well. Again, what do I like? What do I not like? I don't like that this next button has to be clicked after every answer. So I want the functionality to be there where once the answer is clicked, it moves on to the next question, especially, again, people are going to be accessing from mobile. I don't love the progress bar here because of the amount of questions that there are. To me, if I'm answering 7 questions in this first section and then I get to treatments, that's a lot to ask of someone. I have to be really, really invested in. So maybe they're using it as some sort of vetting where they don't want people who aren't going to buy to get to the last step. So they're really vetting you as you go and qualifying you. But to me, that's just a little irritating. I'd want maybe 7 to 10 questions tops in the quiz, and then my contact information be asked at the end. Again, it's really important here with this quiz that the contact information is asked at the end, because if I'm coming to this quiz and I have to put it in right away, that's already a barrier to entry. If I have to enter it at the end, I've already filled out all my information. I'm really wanting to get the results that were generated, so I'm more willing at that point to give up my email address and first name, last name, phone number, whatever is being asked at the end. So at this point, I go ahead and I wireframe it in a free software program called Balsamiq. You can skip this part. I like to do it because it will help me determine what text I need to, or we call it copy, what copy do I need to come up with? Where do I want the buttons? What questions do I want to ask? All those things. And so I map it out and I want to kind of wireframe what it's going to look like on mobile, again, for the person that I'm talking to. So that's that. I'm not going to go too in depth into that, but if you want to see exactly how my team is packaging and selling our network marketing company's products, I'll link the video walkthrough here. And I want to note here that instead of each distributor on our team having their own funnels, we create them for the entire team so that each distributor doesn't have to worry about the technical setup and the software and can put 100% of their focus into getting eyeballs on these pages. Using, of course, the traffic strategies that we teach. But traffic isn't typically something that's taught by the MLM company themselves. Most often expect you to kind of rely on selling to your friends and family. So that's kind of how we approach it. But I hope this was helpful. I hope this kind of gave you a different perspective. I'm going to keep it short on this one, but we'll go more in depth in the next couple weeks on these different funnels. So if you like this video, please like it below. Don't forget to subscribe and maybe share it with a fellow social seller that might benefit from it. And hey, I want to hear from you. How do you plan to set yourself apart amongst the sea of distributors in your MLM company? Comment below. Let me know. I can't wait to chat with you after this video.